It's just the fact that we're reporting on that. So I want to be clear, the company isn't bad. They're allowed to be in business and sell this to the government. In the past, we would see articles about 1 million body bags ordered by FEMA, or 300,000 plastic coffins ordered by Homeland Security. I mean, we've had all those articles. We just have never... But people don't care about an article or a news story. They want to see the coffins. So some folks in Georgia saw one of these facilities, and we've got Google photos of it and ground photos and video of it, and it is more than 500,000 of these giant coffins stacked outside. You'll have big stacks of lids and then stacks of the coffins, one inside the other. And they also have other systems that you can go read about. They also have urns for your cremated body. And this is in Georgia. The company is Polyguard Vaults, but they're in Alabama. This is a separate area, a FEMA leased area, just sitting right out by the side of a highway for the last couple years. And finally, we've mentioned this before, but finally, this is really getting big news on the web, and a big report's being done by Kurt Nimmo right now. In fact, it may be up. I know he's working on it to have it up by the end of the show. Why are tens of thousands of plastic burial vaults
Colonel North, in your work at the NSC, were you not assigned at one time to work on plans for the continuity of government in the event of a major disaster? Mr. Chairman.
I believe that question touches upon a highly sensitive and classified area, so may I request that you not touch upon that, sir?
I was particularly concerned, Mr. Chairman, because I read in Miami papers and several others that there had been a plan developed by that same agency, a contingency plan in the event of emergency that would suspend the American Constitution. And I was deeply concerned about it and wondered if that was the area in which he had worked. I believe that it was,
may I most respectfully request that that matter not be touched upon at this stage.
I'm calling because I'm very concerned. We have some actual proof that a trucker may actually be transporting bird flu. We have a federal agent who is aware, who has taken the documents to many agencies, including New York State Police, the FBI in many, many states, infection control, disease. And what this trucker reported was that he works for Department of Homeland Security. He's a Spanish man who is trucking an independent truck. He goes down to the corner of Broadway and Clinton in Albany, New York at the Department of Homeland Security facility every single evening for loads. He said there are Raymore and Flanagan's and J.B. Hunt trucks ahead of him loading, that he has taken loads from a silo above Glens Falls. His truck actually was lowered into the ground into a silo. When the truck came out of the ground, he was given a shot in his arm to protect his family. He transported ice, refrigerated loads to the Pentagon, Baltimore, Maryland, Tucson, Arizona. He was told that he told the federal investigator how he's getting paid through the Bank of America with a number. He walks up to a window. He presents his number. He is taken to a back room and paid in cash. He showed the federal agent $100,000 worth of receipts because he gets $5,000 per load, and he's done as many as 3 loads per day.
Okay, now wait, let me just stop you right here because this is amazing information.
Along the New York State Thruway, there are miles and miles of car carriers that they've been adding to. There has to be 30 miles of them right now sitting on the track since before Christmas. That Thruway, there are miles and miles of car carriers that they've been adding to. There has to be 30 miles of them right now sitting on the track since before Christmas.
That we could fit my whole city in this thing. Once we get around that bend near the bridge, you'll see how long it goes. I'll keep the camera running. We're at 20 minutes right now. Film I've taken.
Put on a brave face going to work as a death toll climbed from the swine flu outbreak. Mexico's health minister said 149 people possibly linked to the flu have died as of Monday morning. City officials have shut down courthouses, cinemas, and restaurants. Schools will remain shut until May 6th. Mexico City Mayor Marcelo Ebrard said he would decide later if further measures were needed. He said,
the priorities will be guaranteeing access to medicines, unifying management criteria of the infected, and its application in the treatment of the disease, the distribution of surgical masks on public transportation, and to start contingency plans with the productive sector.
Flu fears are growing as the new strain spreads to the United States, Canada,
to be
and
increasing
Spain.
in length. And my
Are you looking at car carriers? Are you talking about on the road, off the road?
No, they're on the railroad tracks, pulled over to the side of the tracks on the spare tracks, and they're actually car carriers. And I think it's for dead bodies. I think it's pre-positioning. I do know a Pakistani diplomat who has recently left the Albany area, who I knew personally, who told me that America is no more, that he's leaving. He took a child out of a local school in the middle of the school year to leave. He is a player. He knows a lot of very important people, I know for a fact, and he has left the area, has left the country. So I do think that something's going on very sinister. No one will convince me of anything other than that. I've been watching this for 8 months trying to warn people, and there are many agencies that are aware, and they are just not willing to do anything about it from what I see. I mean, I'm nobody. They might be doing something about it that I don't know, but they've been made aware of everything you're hearing.
Actually turn whatever they're spraying on and off right before our eyes. I mean, you'll see a plane up there flying like normal, and then all of a sudden it starts spraying. We've seen them fly off into the distance and then loop around and fly back again. These are not your typical planes with a preordained path destination from city to city. Someone needs to explain to me why do they stop traveling in one particular direction and then loop around and come back again. They perform this behavior so many times that we start seeing the tic-tac-toe grids in the sky.
U.S. President Barack Obama urged Americans to keep calm.
This is obviously a cause for concern and requires a heightened state of alert. But it's not a cause for alarm. The Department of Health and Human Services has declared a public health emergency as a precautionary tool to ensure that we have the resources we need at our disposal to respond quickly and effectively.
He said this one day after the White House declared a U.S. public health emergency. Obama said U.S. officials were closely monitoring the swine flu cases, which now number 40. The U.S. plans to warn Americans to avoid non-essential trips to Mexico. Earlier, the European Union's health chief didn't issue a warning, but advised travelers to avoid areas affected by the flu.